I'm in Salad and I saw Knock at the Cabin. It is directed by M. Night Shyamalan. Notably, this is not Cabin in the Woods. This was requested by a Patreon. If you'd like to fast track a movie review, you can do that at patreon.com/ASEPresents. And spoilers ahead, because if you haven't seen Cabin in the Woods or this Knock in the Woods, Knock in the Cabin movie, spoilers ahead. If you have seen Cabin in the Woods, this is like a worse version of it. Spoilers ahead. The movie starts with something very interesting, very child, looking at grasshoppers, catching grasshoppers. I like that. But there's a guy just walking up. You know, who's that guy? Who's that guy in Guardians of the Galaxy that he is? Drax? I believe his name is Drax right here. Dave, correct me if I'm wrong right here. But he's that guy, notably. And what's interesting, he just walks up to a child and I'm like, child, run. If I was that child, I would have gone the other direction. As soon as I saw another person coming towards me, I'm just like, okay, I'm going by. But like, no, she talks to this person and then this child's like, this adult is talking to this child saying, oh, well, the apocalypse is coming. That child rightfully goes to the cabin where there's two gay dudes. Fun. Cool, nice adoption story of this child. Okay, it tells me a lot about this child. I'm like, okay, this has the potential to be somewhat good. Let's see how M. Night Shyamalan does this story, okay? And I like to say that this movie is very similar to Cabin in the Woods meets like 10 Cloverfield Lane is also kind of what it reminded me of. Because as we go through the movie, we have the gay dads dealing with like 4 people. They seem like cultists. They seem like, I don't know exactly what they are. The problem is I don't know exactly what they are. They met through online. Okay. Are they just like people, like friends? Okay, friends who met online through community or something? Okay. And they all had these same visions, and there's also some weather events happening, and they show it on the TV. And what's interesting, it's like, so they're saying that they're having visions of the apocalypse, and it's showing that the evidence is that, oh, there's something happening on the TV right now. And so they then spin it as, oh, so if we MDK your cabin family, just let us do it, okay? And yeah, okay, cool. And then it's just weird. It's like, oh, we have to do this to save everyone. And then each person is one by one MDK'd. And as the story continues, I'm very confused because there's some elements of Cabin in the Woods, like, oh, well, one person has to be knocked off one by one. I see that. I also see 10 Cloverfield Lane because the whole, like, oh, there's some outside force and we have to keep you guys here. But, like, in 10 Cloverfield Lane, he didn't, like, chop up anyone. But what's also interesting is that there's a detail, it's a plot detail. Their phone lines are down. Okay. But also, with phone lines, usually is connected to the cable/internet provider. Why would a person choose, I don't know, like direct TV for their cable and then choose something else like Xfinity for their Wi-Fi? It comes in a package when you buy it. I don't know, get the package. Get it cheaper generally. Or you could get it cheaper both ways. I mean, I've just never really seen anyone who has like phones separate from their cable if they're like boomers. I've been around a lot of boomers / people who would have a cabin in the woods with phone service, by the way, landline. Landline is generally connected to something. I'm no expert here. Dave, correct me. Dave, if you have any vast knowledge on cable and internet stuff, dump it here real quick. Thank you. Well, anyway, this is incredibly insane because now it's down to that one guy, Drax. Down to Drax, and he's like, we have to choose one of you guys. We've 3 people are now sacrificed, but the world has stopped once the one of the gay dudes is gone, and then the other gay dude is like, oh wow, I'm thinking, maybe if I just let my family die, all of this would have been stopped. Which is also kind of Cabin in the Woods as well, if you think about it, because, you know, Cabin in the Woods, heavily dependent on, like, all these murder situations, like dying in a specific order, okay? And then, like, if we don't fulfill that order, then, oh wow, maybe I could have been the people who died in the right order. But then Cabin in the Woods was literally the last hope, and they didn't die in the whole order, in any order. They didn't all die. The drug guy was actually the smart dude, okay? And, like, instead, they had to just sit with the fact that, yeah, okay, all of humanity is now gone and destroyed. It was all dependent on me dying, but I'm alive, and now all of humanity dies. Man, Cabin in the Woods is so much better than this movie. So much better than Knock at the Cabin. Man, that sounds like a knock-off. Ah, got him. Oh boy. I've heard a lot of M. Night Shyamalan movies are really bad. Especially if I've heard the Avatar one is especially bad. What's interesting, though, I want to do the Avatar reviews before I go to the M. Night Shyamalan Avatar movie, just so I can have a frame of reference for that. And I remember the trailer for it when I was a teeny tiny child, when I was like 10 years old. I was like, oh wow, Avatar movie doesn't look interesting at all. I haven't seen the show, and so I never watched it. So that's my experience with that. But wow, I haven't seen any other M. Night Shyamalan movies. This is my first one. And you know, I thought for a second, okay, this could be okay, but then like the logic creeps up. And I'm like, wait a second. Wait, that camera shot wouldn't work. So you have news coverage of a camera on a beach with a tsunami, and the tsunami is very tall, right? And you have the coverage of the tsunami coming over and above the camera, and you're saying this is a few minutes ago, meaning that that data had to transfer. In order for it to, if you're live, right, that transfers that data pretty much immediately, right? Versus if you're just transferring like footage, you're transferring to the cloud. I mean, yeah, sure, it could be like transferring as it uploads, but that file didn't have time to finish uploading, okay? Because it was a few minutes ago, it was recording and then uploads the file, but it didn't have time to finish uploading because it got covered in water. So it would be a corrupted file. It wouldn't work. They wouldn't have that footage at all. M. Night Shyamalan, you're a Shyamalan director, man. Come on, man. Do better. I don't like this. I only say you're a Shyamalan director because it's literally wordplay. I like the little wordplay there. Man, I have so many questions for this movie. Okay. I really like how now we're at the part, well, there's one less gay, which makes me sad, but then there's one alive gay and one alive child, which is very nice. I like that a lot. And I kind of sad for the child because, you know, she kind of had to see her father die. Made me a little sad. A little lunatics. I don't think she should have talked to them in the first place. I don't know. This is definitely her fault. This is totally her fault. I hope she thinks about this as she also thinks about the planes that are falling diagonal through the sky. And it's just a ridiculous thing to think about, how you could have planes. Okay, does you know anything about planes? M. Night Shyamalan, do you know anything about planes? Please let me know if you do, because I gotta be honest. I don't think once a plane has lost, like, plane ability, what is that happens in electricity? The electricity stops working. You lose all the electric panels. Lose it all, okay? Now you have gas. Well, what are you gonna do? Are you just gonna go? Now I'm falling. No. What you're gonna do is go like this, and you're gonna keep falling down. You know, there's other plane crash movies that exist. M. Night Shyamalan. Why do you have to make this one so ridiculous? Well, I find myself laughing at that point. This movie is pretty insane. And insane as, like, it's just some parts just I couldn't pay attention to the movie. I just had to laugh at the idea of what was happening on screen. Despite the tone, I felt confused throughout the movie. Like, I would say that as I was watching, I had a lot of distrust towards the people. Like, I felt like, oh, well, maybe they're gonna eat my liver or something. And then they MDK their friend, and I'm like, oh no, they're not joking. Oh geez, well, now we get to see a little bit of the humanity of them, introducing them as people. And, I mean, I like the nurse chick. I like the cook. I don't like Drax that much. And I only say Drax because I forgot his name. Dave, what is his name? Dave is his name. I'm just gonna continue calling him Drax for the rest of the review. I'm kind of glad that he's undead at the end, because he kind of creeped me out. The other ones before him, I really felt like they should have been alive. I feel like they should be come back, but they're not come back. No, why won't they come back? Well, anyway, I really like how funny this movie is. I gotta give this movie a 6 out of 10. If you like this review, watch another one. YouTube really likes that. You can also like, comment, subscribe, share this video with everyone you know. The ultimate goal of this channel is for me to become an expert movie reviewer, so if I haven't reviewed on the channel, there's a chance I haven't even seen it at all. If you'd like to request a movie in the comments below, you could do that. You could fast track a movie review request at patreon.com/ASEPresents for $20 a month for one movie review per 1 month. $3 a month if you want to learn how to draw Pokemon tutorials early. And if you want to help support the daily grindiness, go to this link tree to help find the way to find the way that you can support at this link tree. So you can go there. And until next time, I'm Mint Salad Saw. I'll see you later, my sour croutons, bacon bits.